I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we bought the cheapest and highest mileage Corvette Z06 we could find.
And we've partnered with eBay Motors to upgrade and modify this Corvette.
High five.
2006 Chevrolet Corvette.
Z06 without launch control, manual. This thing rips, holy crap.
Horsepower and torque.
505 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque from a 7-liter V8 that is hand-built.
Holy goodness.
Yeah, this thing rips so hard.
And before we explain to you why we bought it, let's go through Cliche Corner.
Clean downshift into Cliche Corner and yeah, sideways a little bit. This is so much raw power. Okay, this is kind of a race car for the road. I know it's the most cliche thing to say through Cliche Corner, but dude, I am like flying.
Seems like everything we're missing from modern cars, and I still haven't even driven this yet, but why do we even have it?
Because we've partnered with eBay Motors for this build series of the Corvette Z06.
eBay Motors came to us and said, we want you to buy a car and modify it with eBay parts, and we knew the exact car we both wanted to buy.
A yellow Corvette Z06 in the C6 generation. eBay Motors is one of the world's largest marketplaces for buying and selling all things automotive, offering every part for every vehicle and project.
So to modify this Corvette, we'll be using the My Garage feature on eBay, which shows you the exact parts and accessories you need after you put in the year, make, and model of your car.
Subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series, where we're going to be benchmarking this car at the track in the exact state that we bought it, followed by buying and installing appearance parts, performance parts, Corvette memorabilia, and finally racing some supercars to see how much faster we made this car.
I think it's gonna be a lot faster.
I think so too.
It's gonna look a lot better.
Spoiler alert.
Now enjoy the rest of this episode, but when it's done, go to ebay.ca/motors, go to My Garage, put in the information for your car, and see what cool parts come up on eBay Motors.
Now Yuri, we should probably take a detailed look at the outside of what we just purchased.
Yeah, show me what you bought. Thank you, Jacob, for buying a yellow car.
Our first yellow car. I have never owned a yellow car. Yuri's got a yellow car. Now we both own one.
What is up with these headlights?
Okay, so they are tinted. This is the exact way that we bought it. We got this shipped from Calgary in the exact condition that you see it. We don't particularly like those, so we will be changing them, but it's cool that you can do that kind of stuff.
No front plate because it's from Alberta, had never had one.
Ooh, and we're not gonna put one on.
This here, functional, right?
Yeah, Z06, this is all real. We may change this lip. This is only on the Z06. We'll see, we'll see.
Okay, let's look at the side. Let's go look at the side.
So on the side, we've got the stock Z06 wheels, which I love, but when we originally bought it, they were black, but the dealership then made them chrome for us because they were originally chrome.
So the inside is plasti dip too, that's dark, or is that clean?
That looks like it's plasti dip, so we may have to take care of that as well. That's fine.
And then get rid of these tires.
Yeah, because they're actually mismatched from the front and back.
Okay, 427, isn't it supposed to say Z06?
Yeah, so this badge has been modified. Yuri, come over here on the passenger side. Check this out.
Let me guess, he kept it.
In the glove box, we have numerous things. We have a new engine start stop button, even though that one's fine.
Okay.
We have touch-up paint.
Lovely.
And we have this Z06 lovely owner's manual. And behind it, I found the original badges.
Yes!
Yeah, but we can get them on eBay. And because these aren't in the best condition, we may end up just getting brand new badges from eBay. So let's move on to the back, Yuri. We have mismatched tires, like we said, and there's also some tint applied over here.
What are these tail lights?
They've also been tinted, so apparently the guy just wanted to black everything out. There's window tint. I don't mind the window tint. I'm not a big fan of the tinting of all the lights.
I understand the look, but it's not for me. I would like to make this look Fast and Furious, neon lights and everything.
There's a lot of choices on eBay.
RGB halo lights, a huge wing. Is that what we're gonna do with it?
We're gonna do certain things with that. We'll see how much I allow you to roam free on this build.
And unlike the C7, this is not able to be removed.
No, it's not. And the coolest part, I think, of the C6 generation, well, it's actually a lot of Corvettes. Pop the hood, Yuri. The only problem is, in the condition that we purchased it, we're gonna have to buy some parts off of eBay because you let go of that hood for me.
Oh,
Yeah, we gotta buy some struts off of eBay Motors.
but we have an LS7, 7 liters of V8.
V8! I love my V8s.
And this is where the ram air comes in from the hood, right?
That's right.
From
And
the bumper.
We
Is
have,
the bumper or is it the hood?
I would call that the bumper.
That's the bumper.
So we have a Corsa cold air intake, and it's carbon fiber. I think it looks amazing. I think we may keep that.
This looks
That's
awesome.
it. It's otherwise stock, which is awesome because we're gonna modify the hell out of this thing.
But the ride height,
Ride height looks like it's been a little bit touched maybe up front. In the rear, I think it's stock, so we'll see. We're gonna play with that. Maybe we'll change it to coilovers. Maybe we'll play with the factory suspension.
okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, let's check out the trunk.
Good job, man.
Yeah, thanks. We bought this car sight unseen off the internet for the first time ever because we've never done that. And it actually worked out this time.
What is this?
I don't know, some kind of cover.
This looks like a little frilly dress.
Let's come off.
This is the privacy cover, but that's good. Privacy's cool. Big hatch, that's great for lots of room. I guess we could fit golf clubs because that's the Corvette thing to do.
Yeah, we could definitely put golf clubs here.
We have an anchor for a child seat. That's interesting.
Very interesting.
And what's here? We've got
the battery for weight distribution. Looks like it's an original-ish battery, AC Delco.
And then what's in that little pouch there?
Looks like we have storage in here. And this,
I think that's for washer fluid.
potentially.
Does the washer fluid everywhere work?
This also had vacuum actuated exhaust. The exhaust has been modified. So this is a MagnaFlow system. Unfortunately, I am not the biggest fan of how it sounds.
Good job, good job.
Thank you, thank you.
Good
Sight
job.
unseen, come on, I'm proud of us. Start the car, Yuri.
This is the weirdest start-stop button I've ever seen.
I've already modified the car. It says Corvette when you start up, by Chevrolet. Now wait for this.
Hi, Jake.
Okay, so this is Yuri's genuine first time ever driving this car, ever launching this car. He has no idea what he's in for. I will put him in the same mode that I was in, competitive driving mode. Yuri, have at it.
Wait, okay. That riff's friggin' high.
7,000.
This is just like V8 Miata.
Yeah, it basically is like, how fast is this thing?
Quick downshift. This is totally what I've been missing from modern cars. This is what we've been chasing,
This is a 2006.
but it existed the whole time.
Yeah. How tight does this car feel?
It doesn't feel like weird GM rattlebox or anything.
Exactly. For a 2006 GM, my expectations honestly were pretty low. You got a Chevy Cobalt steering wheel, you got a Chevy Cobalt infotainment, but everything feels really nice and tight.
There is a Chevy commercial where the Corvette is showing the Chevy Cobalt that it's the boss after the Cobalt bounced it off the back. It's called the pecking order. But I did see on this British TV show that they launched it from 5th gear because it has so much power.
Okay.
There, 5th gear.
Now, we have 72,000 kilometers on it. It's not a brand new press car.
I'm getting up there though.
It's going
Look,
from 5th.
What car can actually get going from 5th gear? That's insanity.
Yeah, it's got a boatload of torque from this somewhat of a big block engine. Yeah, now you've made the car automatic. Good job. So let's quickly explain how we got our hands on this car. I found this on a classified site after missing out on a couple deals throughout the country. This is the first car that we have ever purchased sight unseen off the internet. Now, I was not looking for the cheapest or the highest mileage one. I was looking for a yellow Z06 in good condition, and this is a Canadian vehicle, which in the C6 generation was very hard to find in Canada because there was a huge markup. So GM was offering these for like, I think it was around $16,000 more in Canada, so everyone imported them from the States at that time.
That's wild. I'm so glad you got it in yellow because yellow is the color from like all the advertising material. And you know that's like my favorite thing.
Oh, for sure. And back to this rareness, everybody knows how every single Corvette is rare. Number one, this is a Canadian car during the generation where Canadian cars are rare. It was built on a Friday, one of the first cars to be built on a Friday in yellow, considering this is a 2006. First year of this Z06, and I believe it was also the first car to be offered with a black interior. I made up half of those facts.
It wasn't made on a Friday?
No, I have no idea.
It
It's just
could
a
be.
Corvette thing to do. So I had no idea what condition this one was in, having not seen it, because it is the highest mileage one. I kind of expected it to not be in the best condition. I was very pleasantly surprised once it arrived. The transaction was seamless. Safe Auto picked it up for me in Alberta. They brought it over here in record time, and now we finally got to feast our eyes on it literally yesterday. That's why I drove it, and Yuri is driving it right now.
This is our first company car.
Yes.
I feel like we should start buying more cars through the company. We should maybe start like a collection with it after this.
I would love to do that, Yuri, because this car as our first mutual purchase together, because the Fiat and the Fiesta, you know, we own them separately, whatever. This is great.
Okay, I'm gonna cliche corner it.
Go for it. Competitive driving mode, just so you know.
It feels very good. Like, I know Corvettes like to let go, so I'm taking it a little easy.
Yes, for sure.
But I am still just as scared as that other Z06 that we drove from the C7.
C7, yeah, that thing was an animal. This, I love how smooth this 7-liter V8 is. Like, it's so smooth.
Yeah, but the sound is very droney in here, dude.
Yeah, well, we'll get to the exhaust in a second, but Yuri and I have never driven a C6 generation prior to buying this one. Like, when it showed up, that was the first time I had ever sat in a C6.
I like this. I am impressed. I was still thinking it's going to be like bubble interior like the C5, which is my true dream Corvette. In grade 8, my goals that they made us write down was score 10 goals in a hockey season, which I accomplished. And finally, as of this week, my goal of owning a Corvette has been reached, even though in my head at the time it was a C5.
Congratulations. Thank you, eBay Motors, for sponsoring this and allowing Yuri's grade 8 dream to come true.
Congratulate 13-year-old Yuri.
Okay, so now let's talk about that exhaust. It is modified. It's a MagnaFlow. Let's just take a listen to the outside. Let's take a listen to the inside in fourth. Bog it down, Yuri, as if you're just cruising.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
It's very droney, so we will be modifying that with eBay parts.
Can I give it another rip?
Of course you can. That's why we bought this. Dude, this is so fast.
This is something special.
And we're gonna make it even faster.
Okay, and what was the faster version of this Corvette of this generation?
There was a ZR1, which had a supercharged 6.2 liter with a window in the hood, which looks so cool.
But I think this is probably cooler.
Yeah, naturally aspirated 7-liter V8, hand-built. Chevy, I do not think will ever make a bigger engine than this. And this is a small block that has been made into a sort of big block, sort of.
And I did hear on a podcast that the reason the 7-liter was built was because in the C5R, the racing one, they needed more power to beat the Vipers. And Ron Fellows was the test driver. You guys all know Ron Fellows from Corvettes. We've gone to his driving school. He was pretty sweet.
He has his own special edition of the C6.
He was the one who first tested out the 7-liter, and he's like, we got him. And then they won.
That's pretty sick.
They won Daytona, right?
So we bought a race car, basically. I kind of want to get into all the specific race car stuff with this, with me behind the wheel.
So let's do that right now.
I'm going to switch back. This will be a different video. I got to launch it again. God, I love driving this car. Okay.
That's the way these cars are supposed to be driven.
Yeah, there's no actually, there are some electronic nannies. So let's get into this. Competitive driving mode. We have one button in our center console right here. Yuri, what does that icon look like?
That's a C5 doing a burnout.
Yeah, so we have a couple modes with this. So we do actually have traction and active handling on, traction system off, competitive driving mode.
So competitive is the one we're gonna mess around in for the roads.
For the roads, yeah. When we head to the track, we're gonna turn this all off, set some lap times. You don't wanna miss that. We're gonna drag race this thing. You also don't wanna miss that.
Donuts and drifts.
Yeah, you know it.
R.I.P. these tires.
Yeah, good thing we're gonna change them as we upgrade this car. So let's get into all the fun race car stuff. This is a transaxle T56 Tremec unit. It's a 6-speed. It shifts wonderfully. I have missed third gear a couple times just because my palms are sweaty. Meat spaghetti. Whatever the line is from
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Knees weak. Palm spaghetti.
Anyways.
I really like the shifter. It feels perfect to me. It makes sense that it's a Tremec. I'm like, why does this feel so good? That's good.
T56. It's all beefed up.
Transaxle means the transmission and the axle are all in the rear.
Exactly. The differential's tied into the transmission in the rear.
And it also has staggered wheels, just like...
Yeah, 19 inches in the back, 18 inches in the front, and we have 6-piston brakes in the front, 4 pistons in the rear. However, This car is something extra special with the brakes. We have 20 brake pads in this car.
They're all individual. I looked at
Each piston.
Like, what is this? What? If it works, it works.
Yeah, so apparently that's for race car things. It helps dissipate heat, helps pad wear evenly, so all that kind of fun stuff. More race car things compared to the base C6. Everything that was steel on that is now magnesium and aluminum on this. So it's a lot lighter than the base C6 while being wider and having way more power.
And it's got like carbon and balsa wood in there too.
Yeah, carbon fiber in the floorboards. And our front fenders are also made of carbon fiber, and between those fenders, we have that amazing hand-built engine. We have dry sump lubrication with 8 quarts of oil. We have titanium forged connecting rods. We have a forged crankshaft. We have all the race car stuff that you hear that people modify their cars with. We have that.
Okay, there is something about this car that fails.
Yes, so the heads have a known problem. So we'll see what we're gonna do about that. And this is an LS7. There's so many generations of the LS, LS2s, LS3s, LS1s, all that fun stuff. I think personally, this is probably the best one.
It feels really good for a naturally aspirated. I really like that supercharged C7.
No, I get it, but we have a 7,000 RPM redline with 500 horse from a 7-liter V8.
That high redline is so cool.
And we also have these backfires from this exhaust.
That's fun. And driving this in manual compared to even the C8 Corvette, which you still can't get in manual, like if I had both on track for a couple laps, like I'm going here.
Yeah, okay, so now let's get into some of the suspension stuff because this still has leaf springs, Corvettes, you know, whatever, but it actually handles really well. It feels really good. I don't really have issues with the stock suspension.
Chevy did a great job of tuning this to be fast.
Yeah, they really did. And this car in its day was actually compared to cars like the Ferrari F430, Ford GT, Dodge Vipers, Porsche 911 turbos.
Yo, what's that Cadillac Vet?
Oh, the XLR. Yeah.
But it's probably the same as this.
Yeah.
We'll find out one day.
But I mean, that's the kind of ballpark that this car was in back in the day. And everyone's like, Corvettes are never going to get better than this. And they kind of did, but
now they're even like wilder.
I know. There's also additional coolers for every type of fluid in this car other than brake fluid.
So we'll be able to put down a lap time pretty easily,
and we
assume.
Shouldn't have any cooling problems.
So you want me to use this to prop the hood open because it's overheating?
That's exactly what I'd like you to do.
And then for everyone who doesn't know, there is a Z06 in the C5 generation, C6, C7, and the C8 generation did get announced recently, and it all comes from an original 1963 race model.
And because this has so much racing pedigree, they had to make this wider to accommodate these fat tires. So this is 3 inches wider than a regular C6.
Yeah, 325 tires back there, like, it's pretty wide.
It's beefy.
Okay.
Right. A little droney, let's get up this hill.
Can we do some normal tests, please?
What do you want to start with?
Cup holders. We've got 2 small cup holders. Looks like it will fit a small cup just fine.
It actually will. And the visors, look at these things.
Better not have tested these out yet.
I haven't.
3, 2, 1.
Did you break it?
No, I think I pushed a little too hard though.
Do we have to buy a new one off of eBay Motors?
This one's still in good shape. But
Okay.
if we did, we probably could.
All right, good.
Then our radio, we do have satellite radio here.
Yes,
For
we
2006.
do. That is pretty impressive.
How's the stereo though?
It's okay. We do have the Bose system. I believe we have the second trim of this car. We don't have the top trim.
Is that called the ZL2 package or something?
I forget what it's
Yo,
called.
Corvette Forum, let us know.
Yeah, I think you get extra leather in 3LZ. We have the 2LZ, I think.
Okay.
We have a head-up display.
Yeah, I mean, it's old style. It's kind of like that first Camaro that we drove, the Bumblebee one.
But it is fully customizable. You can make it for the streets. You can make it for the track. It's actually great.
But the gauge cluster is perfect the way it is.
My favorite part about the gauge cluster is seeing 7,000 redline and then like nothing after it. You know how every manufacturer is like
Keep
6
going,
digits
yeah.
after? Yeah, I love that.
It doesn't need that.
And this being a rare Canadian car built on a Friday, we have the speedometer in kilometers per hour, so you have 320 instead of 200. And check this out, if I hit the option button and then change the display units to English, watch this. Miles per hour, kilometers per hour.
Oh,
It
that's
just
cool.
changes where the needle is.
Oh, that's actually like,
Yeah.
damn, new cars can't even do that cool stuff.
Exactly, so that's why I wanted the Canadian one to show 320, because on the American one at 200, we're driving at 100 on the highway. You're using the whole tach.
They'll be like,
Or sorry, the
whoa.
whole speedo.
They'll be like, whoa, you can get to 320 miles per hour?
Exactly.
I don't know. And there is something in here that will limit you from shifting from first to second if you're going slowly. What is that all about?
Yeah, so if you're driving like very gingerly, a little icon shows up and it shows 1 to 4. So it'll actually lock out second and third gear and force you to go from 1 to 4.
I guess that's probably for fuel economy, so we could pass everything before they had cylinder deactivation.
Probably, but if you're driving like an animal, which I mean realistically
It did not show up for me for a reason.
First gear right now, and didn't show up.
And it looks like we have a 6-disc changer in here.
Yeah, I actually found a CD in here, Yuri. This is, I'm going to let you see it for the
Please
first
be the
time.
Corvette manual.
You will not guess this in your life.
Corvette instruction manual.
Check this out.
Celine Dion?
No.
Oliver Mitsukudzi.
Yeah.
What is this?
I don't know. It's just like beats.
There's a few interesting discs that I found on eBay Motors to do with the Z06 Corvette, so we will remedy the situation. Don't you worry.
All right, all right.
I'm pretty much going to take the lead in buying fun, wacky stuff, and then you can do all the boring engine and look stuff.
The boring stuff. And these seats are really comfortable. Like, they're not too well bolstered or anything like that. Maybe we will address them, but we'll see.
I say we keep them. They're nice. They look cool. They say Z06 on them, and they're very easy to get in and out considering how low this car is. And I do like seeing Corvette on the door sill there.
Yeah, that's really cool. But the seats are power adjustable, which is nice.
On your side.
Yeah.
And they're heated.
Yeah, I know. And then you have to turn them off with this button, which is kind of funny. And then we have tilt and telescopic wheel, but it doesn't work in the way that I thought it would originally. So here's the tilt. That's one. Let go. And now we have power for the telescopic. Wait. Yeah.
That's pretty reasonable.
No, it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's just kind of funny.
And I did notice you actually have headroom. It looks like it's scooped out, ready for a helmet.
Because I was able to drop the seat like super low.
That's good. Race car.
And this is a hatchback, and it is a Corvette. Can it fit a set of golf clubs? Of course it can.
And all our carry-on and stuff. The practicality is...
It's unmatched.
It's crazy.
For the horsepower, the two-doorness, like, it's unmatched. This thing was so crazy when it came out. 0 to 60, when it was new, was 3.8 seconds. The quarter mile in 11.7 seconds. We will see what we can do with 70,000 kilometers on it.
And then after all of the eBay Motors upgrades.
Exactly.
So I feel like you did an amazing job of finding this Corvette. I know you took most of the lead on this, and I really appreciate it. Let's get to the price.
Okay, so this, when it was brand new in Canada, was $89,900. However, it was a direct conversion of $79,000 US dollars at the time.
So how much did we pay for this?
$49,500 Canadian, which converts to only $38,000 US dollars. And in this market, I think I stole this car.
Yeah, because the prices keep going up and up and up.
They were cheaper a couple years ago, but that's not happening anymore. So I'm really looking forward to modifying the heck out of this car and making it better in various ways.
I'm super stoked on this. I'm very excited to see how much faster we can make this. The whole goal, I think, is to be faster than a bunch of supercars.
And make it better looking. We're going to take it to a car show as well.
Yeah, maybe win a trophy. All of these episodes should be coming out shortly after one another, and we'd love for you to check out ebay.ca/motors. Put in your information for your vehicle in my garage and let us know what cool parts you can find for your car.
Thanks for watching. This is probably the most exciting series that we've been a part of.
I'm so stoked for this.